Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
It's just me today.
Actually?
It's me, Donovan.
Serious?
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking of going corporate. Got the cameras and the big lights on us now. So
you got your suit? You working for Stephanie McMahon and Vince, or what?
I'm trying to keep it...
Corporate Don?
Keep it professional for today.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, I'm Nick. We're sitting here, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PW LookBack. We're going to be sitting in for another look back, like we do. This one, I don't know. It definitely wasn't my favorite of the so far.
It wasn't pretty good?
No,
pretty
I don't know.
bad?
I don't know if it's pretty bad, but I don't know if it made the pretty good category for, what I've been doing so far. But we haven't let anybody know yet. It's Hell in a Cell 2009. Thanks for checking it out. If you're checking it out on Instagram Live, cool too. I don't know, trying something different. So I can't read the comments, but thank you for watching.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how this goes. We'll probably take a look at it when we do the little break. But yeah, no name, really?
Well, I figured I would just kind of rest on my laurels, like some other people we've seen on the show this evening.
Okay. Okay.
Just coasting.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Hey, man, if you're good at something, sometimes you don't do it for free.
That's true. Okay. Well, I don't exactly know what that means, but we'll get right into it. It's like I said, Hell in a Cell 2009. The attendance was 12,356. The show took place on October 4th, 2009. It was from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, kind of a, I don't know, more popular stadium than or arena, should I say, than some of the shows we've done in the past few weeks. This one being kind of home of the New Jersey Devils hockey team, so shout out to them.
Yep.
It was a Raw, SmackDown, and ECW apparently event. I don't know if there was any ECW presence on the show.
I
Maybe
know there was
the dark matches we didn't see.
Yeah, there was.
There was?
I found that out later in doing a little research.
Okay. All right. Well, they didn't make the show, but anyway, the song I didn't really know it was Monster. It was by Skillet.
Did you like it?
It sounded good, but I can't say I've ever heard of the band or the song.
Yeah, other than from this show, same here.
Yeah. I don't know. There was no tagline. I know some of the older shows that we watched in the last few weeks, like 98 SummerSlam and stuff like that, they all had taglines. Didn't see anything like that on this show. Yeah, like you said, I don't think this makes my pretty good column that we've watched so far.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I have to say before we go in. I don't know. What was give me a couple main points to take away from this before we dive in and before I tell you some of mine.
So this was the first Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, right?
It was when they finally, I guess, decided to stop using Hell in a Cells as the end of feuds and maybe using them more as just a match on a I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the names of pay-per-views being the names of matches, but
yeah,
we've talked about that on other shows, so
I don't know. I have a theory. I guess, I'm not going to hate too much because maybe it was the first one, so
yeah, fair enough.
Trying to figure it all out.
Trying something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything major other than it being the first show?
Well, we talked a bit about the match structure when we were watching it.
Like
I found that
like
kind of interesting.
The pace or the placement of the matches themselves?
The placement of certain matches.
Yeah.
I might have switched a couple of little things around, but not too much, actually. Like, I was...
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it at the end of the show like we always do, but one of my standout moments is going to be somewhere in that category.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing for me is the placement of some of these matches on the show made no sense. I mean, I wasn't watching the product in 2009, so I don't really know.
Nor was I. Just for the people.
Yeah, for anybody listening or watching. Yeah, we I don't know. We weren't watching at the time, but I didn't think that they chose to place these matches in the right order. I mean, not that I have any experience doing that, but I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Should we go into the open?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so the show started, as always, kind of with a regular promo build showing a few of the matches that were leading into this night. Pretty good. I mean, that made the pretty good column. But that's WWE. They're kind of the kings of promo build videos, in my opinion, and they did a good job with that. There was lots of pyro at the beginning, as per usual, with any show kind of... pre-2000, 10, 11, 12?
Yeah.
Michael Cole kind of was really stressing how it was all about the cell. And just, I don't really even know where to go with that exactly, but they did a good job of letting you know what was coming in the night, which you don't know. I mean, obviously with the pay-per-view.
As far as like the promo package?
Yeah, well, not even just the promo package. Like when they came in to Michael Cole, and I think it was, we had Jim Ross and Todd Grisham together, and then Cole and Lawler representing Ross. So that's another thing. I was kind of weirded out that JR and Lawler were separated.
Separate. I think that was more like down the line they did that.
Yeah.
They just kept them apart.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But I guess Michael Cole was kind of taking the place as more as the mainstream guy at the time, so that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, they were kind of just talking a lot about like each match as they do sometimes on Raw and SmackDown when you start the show and we move, we've got this match tonight later and we've got an Intercontinental title match. I mean, it is a pay-per-view, so going in back then, if you're watching it, you probably know the matches anyway, but it's cool for us to look back and them to update us before the match actually started. Yeah. But yeah, anything about the intro?
I enjoyed that promo at the beginning. I enjoyed the
the video build?
Yeah, the little promo package at the beginning was nice.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Me as well, like I said. It was pretty good. CM Punk and Undertaker started the show. How do we feel about this?
Well, okay.
Because I can tell you how I feel, but we'll let you go first.
I'm okay with it for a couple reasons. One, because of the length of the match. I was okay with it.
Yeah, it wasn't
being the opener.
The longest.
And another reason I'm okay with it opening is because these are two guys who, you know, obviously we always want the opener it's going to set the bar for the rest of the night. We always want, I mean, they could have totally went with, I think, the Intercontinental match, but it did go a little longer, so I maybe wouldn't have necessarily went with that to open the show.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's other matches.
It's strange. It's strange because it's the world title.
Other singles matches that they.
And I know.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not a fan of putting the world title to open up the show.
Continue, because I have a lot to say about.
So that part of it makes me kind of iffy about it. But the length and the guys that were in it are perfect to get the crowd, you know, hyped up and right into the mood of the show. So for that part, I was okay with it. But I know where you're going with the world title. Yeah,
well, that's what I just wanted to get to. I got to be honest with you, man. The world title part of it is less of an issue more for me.
Okay.
And this was the main thing, and this will be a thread throughout the entire show, but obviously we'll talk about it in this match. Yeah. But how many times has Undertaker opened a show?
That's a fucking great question.
Because I don't know about you, but like to me, Undertaker is not a guy that should be opening a show. Like,
yeah.
I understand in 2009 it's not the same place as 2018, but still. It is the Undertaker. The phenom. Like I had it written down. Like you can't use a better word than phenom. I was trying to think of a word, and I'm like, he's a phenom. But
yeah, I didn't really think of it that way. That's a great point.
Yeah, how many shows is Undertaker? That's what I mean. It wasn't as much about the world title because I've gone back and watched a few pay-per-views from I'd say 2008 to 2012, and the world title wasn't exactly treated, you know, as well as it was in the early 2000s and in WCW and any time prior to that. So that part wasn't as shocking. To me,
more so
as much as it's Undertaker opening the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a great point. I can't really think. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of a time when maybe
Undertaker
did open a show. And
maybe you can look that up since we got lots of Wi-Fi.
I'll have a look at that.
But the other thing I wanted to talk about, other than the fact, why is it the opener? Is going into this pay-per-view?
Yeah,
I thought this was the main event.
Oh, because that poster and everything.
Yeah, I thought this was the match of the card. That was kind of the reason we are having the Hell in a Cell. Aside from the fact that the Hell in a Cell name of the pay-per-view is the reason, but I don't know. I had something else that was really small. I wanted to ask you just because you've been watching wrestling a lot longer than I have. But when did the Cell? Hell in a Cell music start? The lights and the dun 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 coming down. When did that become a thing? Because I've always known it, but we've told many times, I don't know if anybody's watched, but I watched wrestling from kind of 2004 on, so I think they always used that sound back then. Was that something they used in the Attitude Era? I'd
have to check. I feel like it was a thing from very early on.
Yeah,
it's always been a thing. But I remember watching when me and you had watched the Armageddon show.
08.
And remember at the beginning they had it up.
Check that out on YouTube. Armageddon 2008. Look,
definitely, yes, definitely. It's a great one, especially that main event. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I remember we were watching it and they opened up and you seen the Cell up top and the music was kind of playing and you asked me "Fuck, are they opening with this?" Just because the music was playing, and that music we're so used to
knowing that the Cell's coming down with the music. Yeah, I was just more curious if Taker and Triple H or Foley Triple H matches and some of the older Hell in a Cells that we could be looking back at this month, we'll see, had the music. I don't know. But other than that, I know you're gonna find out about the Undertaker, how many times he's opened. Probably not many. That's probably why you're having trouble. But
yeah,
we had the champ out first. CM Punk came out first. Small detail, but
they addressed it, which I liked. They said, JR said, "Is this maybe? It's interesting that the champion's coming out first. Is the Undertaker playing mind games here? Like, is that more of a mind game thing?"
And his entrance, Undertaker doesn't usually come out first either.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick up on the fact. I'm happy you said that they mentioned.
I'm glad they
as to why he came out first. He looked. I had it written down too. Like, he looked super nervous, but at the same time he looked focused and ready to go.
Punk,
like,
right?
Yeah. It wasn't like other Undertaker matches where, like you get John Cena 2018 where he's looks like he's a little kid that's seen the boogeyman in the ring when he's looking at the Undertaker. No offense to John Cena, I love Cena, but that was.
But no, it's the thing with a lot of Undertaker's opponents where they're kind of in awe of his entrance and what they're gonna have to take on.
Yeah. So aside from kind of the getting into the them getting into the ring, there was no shenanigans or pulling the door off or anything like that before the match started. Both guys got in the ring and they rang the bell and started. I don't know if they started with a lockup or not. Probably not.
No, they didn't. What I really liked to start, I wanted to talk about that actually, was you seen Undertaker kind of looking like he wanted to strike with Punk, and he came right after him. Like, there was no lockup or anything. I love that just because of the way we see in this feud build. Like, he was screwed. He basically got a Montreal screw job. I don't know if you picked up on that part of it.
Oh, no, I totally did in the build, and I don't know if anybody listening, like I said, has gone back and watched the show like us, but explain that, because I totally picked up. I know what you're talking about with the Hell's Gate and Teddy Long. And
it was in Montreal.
Oh.
In Canada, yeah.
That I didn't pick up on. That I didn't pick up on.
So, yeah, Undertaker basically, how many times are they going to fucking reuse that?
Well, has it been used a lot?
Oh, yeah, it's been, yeah.
Really?
Well, remember they did in more recent years. I want to say it was Natalya and Charlotte.
Oh, fuck, you're
they
right.
Did something
you're right.
Like, yeah,
you're right.
I know that's not the only time. I know it's been done a ton of times. So it's something a little, I don't know, stale.
Yeah.
But whatever. Nonetheless, it brought us to this match.
Like you said, I think it's a good way to start the match when there's already heat. You're not going to lock up and do a test of strength. That goes back to kind of what we've been talking about recently with the AJ and Joe feud in 2018, but totally different topic altogether. Okay, we'll get into the match. I didn't write too much for the actual moves and everything that happened, but the one that I did write down is how about at the beginning when Punk crawled under the ring in the corner and Undertaker was looking for him, and then Punk drop kicked the stairs into Undertaker. I thought that was really cool.
Unique type of move. I like that.
Never seen something like that before. Was there anything, specific about it that
I thought the Undertaker was like super, super aggressive. Like, he was getting the better of it for most of the match.
Very active too.
Yeah, Punk had like a few little moments, which was good. I thought it made sense, like in the style sense, how Punk was, going after the legs, trying to chop him down, take the knee and bang it against the ring pole. But Undertaker, he was he was tossing Punk all over the cage at the beginning, and I thought I enjoyed that part of it.
No, the aggression
being
was
on the aggressive side, being the aggressor in the match.
Mm-hmm. And like I said too, I think he was moving. I mean, I think I'm more used to seeing him nowadays, but he was moving really well for it only being 9 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Undertaker. But yeah, like I said, I didn't write down too much about the actual match because it wasn't one of the longest for Hell in a Cells. What was the time? I know you're kind of again, we don't have the jingle, but
yeah. So this one was 10 minutes and 24 seconds.
10 minutes 24. So I would say that's pretty short for a Hell in a Cell match, no?
Yeah.
It's not a lot of time to be...
But it's also the opener, so...
Yeah. Undertaker in the opener.
Yeah, which as I was looking into that, I didn't really find...
If you guys know...
Much info. Yeah,
has Undertaker ever opened a show?
Yeah, look that up. Because
I'd like to know too. But basically, we had a couple finisher reversals, and we had an ROH Dive of Doom. That's kind of like what we like to call the dive through the ropes.
Through the middle of the ropes.
Yeah, into the cell. And
we didn't see too many of those, though, this evening, so that was good.
They hadn't got too greedy with that yet. You got to keep in mind this is still 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Whereas now, we see it.
Every other match?
It's insane. I went to Raw last week, and I think I saw in Toronto, and I think I saw 6 on Raw. There was a time, I think Seth did 2 or 3 in a row.
Oh, yeah, that's common with, like,
I think
I've seen him do that a few.
Yeah, but anyway, some reversals. There was a last ride into the corner. Punk was I don't know if he was full mount on him.
That was a good setup because Punk went in for the knee.
Yeah, the classic. Okay, I know what you mean.
And I think he didn't fully connect. And then,
No.
Or maybe he did, but Taker just kind of
got him up. And it was a stiff last ride. I mean, they're all stiff, but like Punk really it wasn't as much of a throwing down where he just kind of threw him up and then Punk landed. So, I don't know. Good on Punk for taking that. But after that, it basically led to a tombstone, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Undertaker, new world heavyweight champion in the opener.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how you start your show. Undertaker winning your heavyweight
fan?
belt. Well, I don't know, man. We talked about it a bit. It's more just I don't buy Undertaker in the opener. It's just weird for me. And like I'm sure there's people that think different, but I don't know. I don't
okay.
Those two opening match and Undertaker don't fit for me. And there's other matches on this card that we'll talk about, IC title matches or US title matches or even tag team matches that could have opened the show and done fine.
I would say,
in my opinion.
if I had to pick another match to open it, I would have probably went with that US title match, to tell you the truth. I think that would have been
the
a good
triple
opener.
threat?
Yeah, just because, but...
Yeah, we won't be talking about that for a little bit, but yeah.
Not to, spoiler or whatever the fuck, but I would have opened it with that match because of the fact that it's Kofi, and I know he can kind of get the people going. Because, I don't know, with the opener, you always want someone who's going to get the fans into it.
For sure.
And Punk, I guess...
No, and it's not that Punk and Undertaker aren't going to get the fans into it. It's just...
I know what you mean. No, I totally...
It just really took me off
different.
guard, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was not expecting to see Undertaker come out in the first match.
There's been times they throw me off like that, too. Like, I think it was WrestleMania. I don't want to go too far off.
Especially the fact that and I know I said it earlier, that it made more sense that he came out second, but even that, to me, makes even less sense. Because if you're going to start the show with something weird, start it with the gong.
Yeah.
Blackout, boom, show starts.
That's kind of cool.
Undertaker's coming out. You know what I mean? And then, it's like, oh, he's just some other wrestler.
Yeah.
He's just coming out to fight his first... I don't know.
No, you have a great point on that. I agree with that.
Yeah, so... I don't know. I've kind of put my own little... We call it Meltzers instead of stars.
Yeah.
Since the stars are his, we just use Meltzers. So I gave it 2.5 Meltzers.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll move on to the next match.
Yeah.
Unless you had anything else to say about that.
No, I wanted to make a quick point. Not really about... It's more about all the Hell in a Cell matches of the evening. I think this... Obviously, with it being the name of the pay-per-view, and we all know... From here on out, it was a every year thing to have it Hell in a Cell be the pay-per-view. I think with even the style, not so much the main event, but a lot of these matches were just not as extreme, not as crazy as some of the other Hell in a Cells.
The actual Hell in a Cell matches?
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to keep it more under control starting now from this era. Like this is where it started to, let's keep them confined. We don't want to do anything too crazy. Go on top, not too many weapons. Let's just... Especially that fucking Cena Orton match, man. I have a lot to say about that. I didn't like that match. I have a lot to say.
Same here, man. That's crazy that you said that. Well, not crazy, but we'll get to that match later. Especially the placement, man. I really think the placement of this show is just...
That I was okay with, though, because if I had to watch that last, I don't know if I would have,
Maybe... I know it's the WWE title, but maybe open the show with that. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, so second on the card, we had John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler.
Can I get a round of applause? Is that possible?
The old Zigman.
I would love that. For me, this was my favorite match of the night.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
hands
while
down.
I get this.
Especially shout out to Ziggler's fucking gear.
I'm happy you brought that up.
Awesome match.
There's the round of applause for the Zigman.
Yeah, I know you guys can't hear it.
You guys can't hear
There's a round of applause.
There's a round of applause. Listen on YouTube to hear the round of applause. But yeah, am I saying too much?
No.
Ziggler's gear. I think we should start there.
Yeah, let's go for it. I'm curious. I want to hear your take on it.
I want to know why he chose to wear 101 Dalmatians gear. That's kind of where I'm at.
It was like zebra.
It reminded me of a Dalmatian.
With the hot pink?
The zebra. No, it wasn't a zebra. It was a Dalmatian. It had little spots.
Okay, in all fairness, as the Ziggler,
I wrote no thanks. On the paper, I wrote no thanks.
Yeah.
But as a Ziggler
fan, I'll speak for...
And a former Ziggler fan.
Yeah, I'll be on the Dolph side, and you can be the oppose. I think at this time, he's new. He's trying to stand out. He's trying to wear something flashy or whatever. you wanna stand out from the pack. Look at the fucking hair on the.
Yeah, see, I feel like I've seen a lot of clips or like old footage of Ziggler with the blonde hair, so I'm more used to seeing that. I don't know why, but
to me it just was more like bleachy.
Yeah, and the slick back that you
it was
talked
like
about.
a fucking mullet, dude. Like the ends were kind of just hanging out. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen him from that.
Well,
but yeah, it was like stand out. I didn't mind it because to me that was like he always wore this
crazy stuff,
trippy. Even now, sometimes he'll wear the hot pink.
Well, he's really
tights.
like always. I feel like kind of trying to figure out his character,
himself,
like trying to find what the shape really is. And I like Ziggler. I don't hate him. It's never really.
But
defined.
I have to say, in this match, man, I could see the fucking fire in this guy. Like, I think like a couple years ago, he lost it. Right now, he's in 2018 currently. I feel like he's got it back. But I feel like a couple years ago, he kind of lost it a bit.
Like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around the same time, The Miz was starting to fall off.
Yeah.
And coming back up. But I know what you mean. Other than that, I think Morrison, normal gear, normal entrance.
Yeah.
Typical Morrison stuff. Shout out to Todd Grisham for the old WWE. This is the WWE equivalent of an F1 match, or an F1 race.
So what did you think about that reference? How did you?
I didn't want to dive too much into it. I'm just a huge Formula One fan, so it was cool to hear somebody.
Did you agree with it though? Like, what did you think?
Yeah, I would say maybe more like a Rey Mysterio, Will Ospreay, Ricochet. That would be more in the vein of a Formula One equivalent, but I see where he was going.
Yeah.
And they also have a little more muscle. They're a little more well-rounded than those two, like, being Rey and Ricochet.
Oh, yeah.
But I totally know what he meant. Do you want to talk a little bit about the headlock takedowns? I had it written.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan, so.
It's just a move that I like to see. It's
Shout
simple but effective.
Yeah, it works.
It takes you into so many other pieces of the match. I feel like.
Yeah, and it's also a good. It's not a popular term, but a rest hold.
Yeah.
In the sense that like you can gain some time, gain some breath, figure out what transition
and
you're moving on to next.
Yeah. As well, I
think. Stop the offense.
Stop someone's offense, take him back down. And I thought Ziggler was doing a great job of like, in this match, he was really showcasing. A lot of that amateur background, which we don't see as much. Like all the firemen's carries and
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like
single leg takedowns.
Ziggler was very like amateur wrestling based in this match. I think he really tried to like change it. I don't know if it was just because it was Morrison and he knew he had to like keep him
grounded.
Yeah, keep him down because Morrison's all over the fucking place.
Yeah,
in a good way. But I don't know. It was okay. And you had something that I want to bring it up just because I don't think we're going to talk about Ziggler anymore in the show.
Yeah.
Other than this match, but you had brought up the fact that if he never won the world title, do you think he would have been better off now in 2018 and maybe since like from 2009 until 18? Do you think his run would have been better?
I feel like it's a bit of like a gift and a curse type scenario because I feel like in this day and age, like now, if he never won the world title, we would have had all the fans like, oh, well, why not? He deserves a title. He should be world main event picture. He should be this, should be that. Like, I feel like people would have wanted it so bad by now of just seeing him constantly in the mid card that
there would have been more hype for it.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
But at the same time, it's like, I almost wish he didn't win it because I just feel like, look, we're going back. How long ago was this pay-per-view? 9
years.
9 years ago. Okay. So now, and if you go up to today, 2018,
how many times did he win the world title? Just the one with the Money in the Bank?
I think just he's a one-time world champion.
Okay, yeah. Anyway.
But still, like, currently he's in the Intercontinental picture, 9 years later.
Oh, for sure. And
it's not a bad thing, man. Some guys are just, like, everyone has their place,
Oh, no, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Like Kofi Kingston, for example, he's never won a world title, but I look at him as, like, an awesome mid-card guy.
Well, it's like Big E too. Some people still, because he's never really been given a single shot, people still assume he should at some point. Yeah. So maybe if Ziggler never had, more people would think, he deserves X or he deserves like whatever. So
there's tons of amazing guys of the past who never won the world title.
Of course, and it should be like that.
Yeah. I almost think like now they're too quick to give fucking titles to guys. Like
I was just gonna say, world title runs shouldn't be given out because you've put your time in.
Yeah.
should be given out because you're the top guy to represent the company.
And I feel like they renege on it. Like they go back, and I don't like that backpedal shit. Like sometimes it makes sense, but like I don't know, just I don't want to get too much into current stuff. But you see a guy like a Seth Rollins go from like WWE champion back to Intercontinental champion. Not to say like it's a lesser title, but I don't know if I like that whole back or a guy
flopping
who's
around
WWE champ. Now he's going to the US title.
I don't mind as long as they work their way back. Like I want to see
it eventually lead to something.
Yeah. And I, like you said, I don't want to get too much into current stuff, but we'll get back into the match. I kind of had one word to represent this match, and I'm sure you'll agree, and that's just athletic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It felt just like these guys can go. These are two athletic dudes that know what they're doing in the ring, and they'll tell you a good story.
Yeah. As far as like move for move, I don't know if I have too much to say, but I think that
I had a question about a move.
Yeah, for sure.
What is the Starship Pain, and who the fuck came up with that name as a finisher?
I don't know if he came up with it. Yo, shout out to Mike D though, because I know he doesn't like that move. Like we've talked about that.
Oh,
move.
Really?
Yeah, he's like he just doesn't. It's like a split-legged.
Oh, like off the top rope
where he spins, kind of thing.
I don't even have anything against Morrison. Like I said, I watched wrestling in 04, 5, 6, 7, so I saw Morrison's debut with Melina and everybody and Joey Mercury and Eminem and all that. So I have nothing against John Morrison. I just thought that was it reminded me of like the fucking Sparkle Splash that Alexa Bliss had in NXT before the Twisted Bliss, which is a much better name. You know what I mean? They gave her.
It's just one of those. I don't know who came up with it. It's just one of those. But yeah. I was going to say, I think this match like represents what the Intercontinental title is all about. Like workhorses, working man title. I know. So I loved it. These two guys were in it.
Ziggler really like put the pressure on, man, like to the point where I thought he was going to win, but then it was almost so much that I did that reverse psychology thing where I was like,
he's had too much
offense now that like
he can't.
Which we'll get in the main event too, but yeah, I don't know. It was a good match. I think probably the best match on the card. I don't know for sure for me, but we'll talk about it more at the end. But I gave this one a 3 out of 5 Meltzers, so pretty good.
I'll give it. I'd give it pretty good. I'd give it 3.5 or 4.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it went 15 minutes and 41 seconds, just for everyone out there wondering.
Yeah. Don getting us the times like he always does.
Yeah.
Cool. Move on.
Yeah.
Anything else to say?
I guess just more speaking on this time period in Ziggler, I remember it was a chase for a while. He did eventually get the IC title, but I like the chase. Yeah. Because I remember they talked about it on commentary. He fought Ray. Ray previously had the belt. He was trying to chase it. Morrison eventually got it. Now he's got this chase with Morrison. So it makes it so much better than, when a guy finally does get it, because that was kind of the story of Dolph Ziggler chasing the IC title to come this close but not exactly get it.
Do you know what happened after this? Roughly?
I know he gets the belt. I don't want to say a month shortly after.
So he keeps feuding Morrison.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Good to know.
That's all I wanted. That's my last little blurb about that match.
No, for sure. Good to know. The next segment we had after that was Josh Matthews with Batista backstage.
Yay!
My new name for Batista, I think, is Wacky Dave, because he, I don't know, grabbed the microphone from Josh and had to introduce his boy Ray all weird. And I love Batista and Rey Mysterio, but I just didn't get this. This was
I can explain it.
Awkward to me.
Maybe.
Maybe was it because it was such a big thing that they were reuniting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, tell me more.
La Familia. That's what Ray said.
That is what Ray said. And I remember when they were together because they feuded.
Yeah.
And then I watched them together.
After Eddie passed.
So I remember all of that well. But, well, I wouldn't say too well, but enough that it made sense why it wasn't... Like, if I had never seen that kind of stuff and I had watched this look back, having no knowledge of them being together, I would be way more like, why the fuck are these guys together? This doesn't make any sense. But it made sense, and they told you why in this little promo, and I don't know. And maybe it made sense that they're coming together to try and win the tag titles.
Yeah. I just think maybe Dave, like, the guy's like, he's much better as a, I don't even want to say much better, but he's more of a heel a lot more times than a babyface. So maybe
really
he just wasn't.
I feel like
wasn't comfortable.
Almost all Batista I saw was babyface
early on.
Yeah, because I didn't see a lot later than his world title run. Like later, like with Undertaker when he fought Undertaker at Mania. I think that was kind of the last bit of Batista that I had seen. But I don't know. All in all, good little segment to get you hyped for the match to come later.
Yeah.
But before that, we had the next match again: Alicia Fox versus Mickie James for the Divas title. I thought we talked about it a bit. Mickie James's gear was different. I've never seen her. Like, I don't know. I'm used to either seeing her the way she was with Trish originally, with her little skirts and just kind of looking, frankly, not like a wrestler.
Yeah.
But it was her gimmick, which is fine. Or like now, where she wears wrestling gear, pants and stuff like that. This was more of like a hipster.
Yeah, come on, give me that breakdown you give me.
I don't even know. I don't know if I want to get full into detail like on air, but kind of like a hipster chick. You know, I don't even like.
She had this weird little
traveler, like gypsy kind of
look
to her with the cargo pants and the little hat, like you said. And I don't know. I guess if it worked and that's what she did all the time back then all the power to her. But I just thought it was a little bit different.
And then we had
Foxy
Cleopatra.
Foxy. Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox. Little Noam Dar shout out. But I honestly, I got to be honest, I thought they got more time than I was expecting.
I was thinking that you might say that.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this was probably one of the lowest points for women's wrestling. I know that it reached a high-ish in the Attitude with Trish and Molly and that kind of peak, and then it, went up and down for a while there, and I feel like I don't want to discredit any of the divas or women's wrestlers that were there in 2009 at the time, but I feel like looking at it with 2018 eyes, it's probably one of the lower times for the women.
Definitely, I agree. It was definitely a lower period, I would say. The match didn't go like super long, but definitely got more time than one would expect from this era.
What was the time?
It was 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
So still not that long.
Like it seemed longer, right?
It definitely seemed longer because when the women talk about some of their old matches, that's usually the number they give is 5 to 7 minute matches or whatever, right? Or maybe 4. But it was, I don't know, there was one point where Alicia kind of did a really long taunt before her pin.
Yeah.
And I think it was on purpose because like King brought it up and the fact she's a heel and it made sense. But it just, to me, I watched it and I'm like, what are you doing? Pin her. Yeah, like you're spending 5 minutes hyping up the crowd after you do your move. But again, she's a heel and that's the whole point of it.
Well, and he also said like maybe it's a rookie mistake. She was also very new
at this time. Yeah, that's true too. She had, I got to be honest though, and Lawler brought this up because I wrote it down as well. Not because I wrote it down, but he brought it up as well. That Northern Lights suplex that she did with the bridge was unreal.
Oh yeah,
like her bridge was, not that I can be a fucking judge of bridges in wrestling, but it looked amazing to me. Like she had it on perfect form, and from what I can tell, it seemed like it was done correctly. But how about the DDT to finish the match? I wanted to get to that. It was good, bro. I thought she fucking broke. Like I knew she didn't because I'm watching her here in 2018, but I thought her fucking neck was broken. Like it was crazy. If you guys haven't seen that, if anybody's still watching this or listening to the show, fucking go back and just take a look at not only the whole show, this DDT that finished off Alicia Fox in this match because it was devastating.
Yeah, it was definitely.
But
Mickie James with the win and retaining the title.
Yeah, pretty much that's it. What did Michael Cole say? Smart, sexy, powerful?
Yeah, it was so fucking cliche, man. It just sounded like who was feeding him that.
He
said it like this, guys. He goes,
I can tell you who was feeding it.
The divas they're smart, sexy, and powerful.
Yeah, all of them. All in one.
So that was kind of funny. We
just ahead of the curve for the revolution.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, I had this 2 out of 5.
Not bad though.
2 out of 5.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Maybe a 1.5.
I don't know if I could give it a rating. Sometimes I have a hard time at giving a.
Just give it lower.
I don't want to go
what you
up
expect
because I don't know what standard I'm looking at. Like, what's a 5? You know,
a 5 is a 5. What do you mean? What's a 5? I don't want to get into this.
I know, but what's my 5? Like, are we talking Austin Rock?
Sure.
Mania 17. Like, what am I?
Kenny and Okada or one of these, whatever you want, really.
Yeah, it was cool. I'll just say that it was cool.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
All right. What do we have next?
The Jerry Show.
Yeah, the Jerry Show. So we had Y2J and Big Show versus Batista and Rey Mysterio.
I have to say this is one of the better mashup musics, I think.
Yeah. Should we get one more?
Yeah, a little bit. Just give them a little.
As you heard, we probably opened, or as you heard at the beginning, we opened the show with this song, but I had never seen Jericho and Big Show together. No, didn't know. I knew they were a thing because I've seen, videos of them walking out together with the belts and stuff. But yeah, good little tune.
It's a good mashup, yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool. We thought we'd give you a little more taste. If you want to go check it out on YouTube, you can. It's not ours, but go check it out. Yeah. How did you like this match?
I think so we want to talk about placement and whatnot. I think this was placed I like where this match was placed on the show. I wouldn't have wanted to see it later or earlier. I think this is like perfect. This match is one that I could say was like well placed.
I would have said earlier that I thought it could have opened the show, but now that I'm thinking about the little promo video that we got between Batista and Ray, we wouldn't have been able to see that before the show opened. So
what a shame.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree. I think it was a well placed match.
Yeah. I thought Big Show was not looking his best.
No, not from what we've been used to compared to now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just looking kind of slow. I gotta be honest.
He just seemed like he wasn't all that. Like he just whatever.
This wasn't his favorite year of his
like,
career.
Yeah.
Let's say. I don't know for sure. Big Show, if you're listening, let us know.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
But
just my opinion. I'm just saying, like, I didn't.
Yeah, big respect to Big Show. This guy's been around forever.
For sure.
So, the video that they had for the beginning of this match was pretty good, as they normally are. Pretty good. I don't know. Y2J and Ray started out the match.
And I like this because I want to, like, they touched on it a little bit, but these guys had a long-standing feud in the year of 2009.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say next because the announcers talked about it huge, and I didn't know.
I've seen, like, all those matches, I feel like.
Between Ray and Jericho?
Yeah.
Oh, those are probably good, man. Mm-hmm. That's sweet. But, yeah, I don't know. Did you have anything major? Because I got some stuff written down, but it's kind of, this match was very all over the place. There was a huge chop from Big Show in the corner onto Ray that was loud.
Like, you had him on the top
of the turnbuckle,
slapped him to the outside. That was cool. I like the move with Ray on Batista's shoulders. Like, he stood on his shoulders and
instead of going to the turnbuckle, he stood on top of Batista's, which is higher than the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And what did they say? From the second story.
Yeah. It was just cool. Works. I like to see that. It was fun. It was fun for me to see Ray and Batista teaming up. It was cool. I liked it.
For sure.
I think the crowd was like super into
to
Ray
bring
as
them
well.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you if you noticed this. I feel like sometimes Batista would get. Some people were kind of booing him.
I noticed that.
Right? Yeah, it wasn't just me.
But I didn't think that he was really getting booed until later in his career when he did the whole Hollywood thing. Like that was the only time that I thought he ever really got consistently booed.
But spoiler alert. He makes a little bit of a turn, so they run with it. He makes a little bit of a turn like shortly after all this stuff. I know he goes more of a heel direction later this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, it was kind of very jumbled all over the place. I know at one point Ray was in for a long time, kind of taking heat from Big Show and Ray. He had an opportunity to tag Batista first because Big Show was in there, and he kind of, did the big ups, and he said, no, I can take him. I got this. Yeah. Slapped his chest and said, I got this. Big Show beat the fuck out of him. And then he eventually, like I said, after a Chris Jericho tag in and kind of taking some heat for a while, he managed to get back over to Batista for the hot tag. Was Batista your favorite guy in this match? I know you're a big Batista fan. Or is Jericho kind of right there?
In this match?
Yeah, just in general. I know, how I always like to ask you random. Who do you like more?
Definitely, probably
Batista and then Ray, or maybe Jericho?
Probably Jericho and then Ray. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I know I like to always ask you those randoms, but I thought it was a decent tag match overall, and aside from Big Show being slower than he needed to be, which who knows what he was going through at the time? I have no fucking idea. So. You never know.
Yeah.
Like I said a million times, we've said a million times on the show, opinion-based podcast. Check it out at PW LookBack.
I thought Jericho and Show looked good together though. They the look on their face when they came out, very smug heel vibe to them. So I thought they were well put together as a heel tag team. I was not a fan of the several tag team belts.
The double, I guess this was before they merged them into the penny belts.
Yeah.
That we had for a few years. So yeah, we'll go. Like I said, I thought like as a tag match, I thought it was a pretty good tag team match.
No,
you know what I mean? Star power included. It was pretty good.
All former world champions, WWE champion, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
all
I never even thought of that. So yeah, that's a good point to bring up as well. A really good point actually. So the ending, I had some of it written down. I know. Okay, so it was a big mess. There was a crossbody from Jericho.
Yeah.
Big Show caught him outside the ring.
Yeah.
Batista speared both of them.
That was a good spot. I enjoyed that, actually.
Same here. And then Ray was off the top rope for the win, I think, to Jericho.
No, because they didn't win.
Oh, yeah, Jericho. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he went for the win, is what I meant to say. And then Big Show caught him with the KO punch.
Yeah, and then that was it.
Yes, sorry. That's what I meant. I kind of didn't finish reading what I wrote. But he went for the win off the top rope. But did Big Show climb back into the ring after he got speared, I guess? Like just kind of sold for a little bit, rolled back in?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel about the whole match? The finish, I like the KO myself.
I was going to say I like the KO punch.
Yeah, and, unexpected.
Yeah. And the fact that he was doing it to Ray made sense. Ray was taking a lot of
heat the entire match.
The whole match. Batista was out of it, so
for sure.
It's a good ending. Good ending. And the time on that one there was 13 minutes and 41 seconds. So I thought decent amount of time.
Decent, yeah.
Good for a tag match.
I got to be honest, my rating might change, but from what I wrote when we were watching the show, I kind of gave it a 1.5, 2.
Like the whole show or this match?
No, this match. Because I've been giving ratings kind of my meltzers throughout the entire show. So, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about that one. Maybe a 2. I might bump it up now. And we'll see. I got a pen somewhere here.
Yeah.
I'll change it to a 2. But yeah. It was pretty good. And like I said, as a tag match, I thought it was pretty good as well.
Yeah, and the placement I thought made good sense too.
Yeah, perfectly right in the middle of the card. We'll go on to the next match.
For sure.
Randy Orton and John Cena.
Barn burner.
Yeah, barn burner in the sense of two legends nowadays. But I don't know. This match did not live up to the star power, that's for sure. Do you want to give me the time before we even talk about it, or should we just go right into it?
Can you guess first? Because it seemed long. It seemed like this. I was like waiting for it to end.
15 minutes.
Longer.
22 minutes.
21, 24.
Really?
20, yeah.
Yeah, it did seem kind of long. The finish was okay, and we'll get to it, but
it seemed like fucking 40 minutes for me.
It really dragged on this match. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it.
I don't think they have chemistry, man. I'm gonna say it here. I don't like not that they don't have chemistry like that. I was
gonna say I don't know if I agree with that,
but I don't enjoy their matches, man. Together,
all of them. There's been like
a million.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
I don't know. It's like I was thinking about this as we were watching it. You mix Batista.
Because I have a question on that too. I'm happy you brought that up because it's already on the sheet that I want to ask you. But keep going.
You mix Batista, Cena. I like it. You mix Orton, Batista. I like it. I don't know if I like this combo, man. I've seen a lot. I've seen these their stuff together too. They're just like I don't know if their styles mesh well together.
Okay. Well, I got
two. For a very slow, dull.
Always, I haven't seen as many as I think. Well, obviously not as many as you, but I don't think I've seen as many.
I've seen like majority of this whole feud.
I've probably only seen a couple. I would say maybe 5 of their 15 plus matches they've probably had. I remember seeing a picture last year when they fought at a pay-per-view, and it was like every pay-per-view they'd ever fought at, and there was like, I want to say at least 10, maybe 15, I don't know. But, question.
Yep.
Who do you like more?
That's easy.
That's my go-to.
I think.
Because I have a follow-up. No idea?
Yeah, that's tough. That is a tough one when you ask. When I really compare the two.
Yeah, see, I don't have to think about it much.
It's Orton, easy?
Yeah, it's Orton. And I'm a Cena guy, too, but it's Orton. Like, Orton's probably my favorite wrestler ever.
I would say Orton, but then, like, I think of all the matches that I enjoy so much with Cena in them, too. And I think of early John Cena when he first came in, how much I was a fan. But then I think of early Orton. It's very neck and neck.
Tough to pick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is kind of a
If I had to pick, I guess I would say Orton because I
just enjoy his stuff more.
If I was there as a fan and I have to, I'm picking a DVD or so, I'd probably go. I'd lean more towards the Randy Orton direction. I think.
Okay.
But they're very close.
Yeah. Me. Well, I mean, they're superstars. Like, and I don't mean that with capital S WWE. They are. They're these guys transcend the business. They're superstars. But I know there's been, like we said, many John Cena, Randy Orton matches. How many have you seen, and do you have a favorite? Not exact number. I don't expect you to give me the exact number, but I would say, like, have you seen 75% of them? Have you seen at least 7 matches, 8 matches? Like, because they, like you said, they've been fighting over the years for quite some time. So
I've seen a lot of them, man. Probably maybe 75, 80% of them, I think.
Okay. And any of them stick out more than others?
Yeah, the one where the fan like tried to run in.
Do you know the pay-per-view or the?
Yeah, it was at SummerSlam of this year, 09.
Oh, of this okay.
Yeah, the same year.
Wow, I wonder. Oh, that would have been before this then, because this was probably like we said, October 4th. So that would have been 2 months before.
Yeah, I don't know if for match quality. I don't know, man. I don't like watching this. I was thinking about it too. Like, I was never a big fan of them two together
in a match
it
together.
Just to me always like. Ugh.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on negatives, but well, I have another one. But why was this match now? I mean, this is kind of back to the Undertaker CM Punk stuff we talked about at the beginning of the card. Yeah, but like, why is this now? And my first thought when this match was shown on TV is the main event better be fucking good.
And I think that made sense in the end, in the long run. I think the main event was deserving of this.
We'll talk about that for sure, and I'm kind of on the same page with you there, so don't worry about that. But I just, before, like, halfway through the show or 3/4 of the way through the show when they showed this, I'm sitting there thinking, what do they have planned for the main? Because if Undertaker and Punk wasn't good enough in a Hell in a Cell, and Cena Randy Orton and John Cena aren't good enough in a Hell in a Cell, I think, I don't know, might be a reason. No. No, I remember I said I had a theory, so I can give it to you now. Give it to me about the main event when we talk about the main event, unless it's more related to John Cena and Randy Orton.
It's just more of the structure, I guess, of the card placement of these 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
Talk about it more towards the end of the show, maybe your memorable moments area as well. And we want to try and roll through too. We don't know if we want to try and make these 2-hour episodes more consistent, but we're trying something new as well. If you're listening to the show and you haven't, and you still have time, then, go check out the Instagram video as well. So, which I don't know if that'll be up, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Either way, check it out in the future. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Twitter, at PW LookBack. But back to the match, the reason we're here, we kind of only talked a little bit about their prior feud. This match, like we said, it was kind of slow. Yeah. Slow build. A lot of selling for 2 guys that, you don't look at and think like, oh, great sellers, John Cena and Randy Orton. But they did a pretty good job of it in this match, I have to be honest. And I don't know, there's little points to bring out. Like, how about Randy trying to throw the stairs over the ropes there?
Almost.
That was a bit weird.
Came back at him. I don't know. I'm not trying to completely like shit on it, but I just was having a hard time staying interested in this match.
Yeah, the whole time. I didn't write a whole bunch, and usually the more I write, the more I'm enjoying the match. But there were like little things. Cena threw the steps at Orton. Yeah, he was outside the ring.
It was weird because it felt a lot like a regular like match. I mean, the little bells and whistles of this chair later on and the steps. Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of like. It felt like they were just. The Cell was there just to like I kind of touched on earlier, just to keep them in.
Keep them in from getting out.
Yeah.
Which is what it was designed to do in the first place.
But they weren't really using the cage, or, you know what I mean? Like
throwing each other into it and that kind of stuff. More of that, yeah. Randy did a little bit where he was like, it was cool. Like Cena was kind of on the ground and Randy climbed up 2-3 steps on the cage and then like dropped a boot. I thought that was cool. Yeah. It was different. I'd never really seen somebody do that before. But I wrote it down as well. This is definitely one of my least favorite matches on the card.
Yeah, for sure.
With 2 of my more favorite wrestlers that are on this card. Yeah. So that says something. But I don't know. There was a lot of hard chair shots, like you said. Randy kicked out of an AA. Randy was looking a lot younger, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that was more to do with the fact that this is 9 years ago or the fact that he was bald?
Both.
I think you're right.
I'm going to go with both.
I think you're right. So the ref got bumped midway, kind of just past midway point of the match, I would say, maybe closer to the end. Yeah. Because Orton was Cena had a STF on Orton. Orton managed to get to the ropes. I think the ref got pushed from both of them into the corner.
That's a positive I can say of the match. I remember when he had him in that, and the way Orton got out was to slide under, and use the rope on Cena's neck. That was cool.
Yeah, no, that worked out. That's actually a good point. Yeah, that he crawled. Yeah. Using, like you said, just kind of to crawl underneath it and forcing Cena to let go. Ref got bumped. Cena eventually got him back inside the STF. Orton, because he's kind of looking around, looks into the corner and realizes that the ref's not there and then knocked out. Proceeds to tap. So I like that. It made sense with the whole story. He's going, okay, I can tap right now. I can let Cena know, get the fuck off of me. Hopefully he will and not notice that the ref's knocked out. So, and that worked. Cena let go.
That's kind of what led to him winning, yeah.
Exactly. So what was that? We had the chair shot to the neck. And then, what was it? There was an RKO more or less out of nowhere because Randy Orton, John Cena had went over to the ref to try and shake him and wake him up. And what are you doing? He tapped out, ring the bell, blah, blah, blah. Cena turns around, RKO.
He actually got out of that, too. He kicked out of that RKO.
Yeah.
It was the...
Yeah, which we don't see much of, kicking out RKOs.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So he kicked out of that RKO, and then Orton was kind of just the psycho character that they were playing off of in 2009 kind of came out, and they used the ropes. Like Orton had kind of tied Cena up.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the comparison, like Macho Man, Jake the Snake spot.
Got him tangled
up in the ropes. And then he proceeded to more or less just choke him out to the point where Cena, in my eyes, was knocked out. He let him off the ropes and Cena went flat on the ground. I looked at you and I kind of said, like, is the ref going to call this?
Yeah.
This, to me, Cena's knocked out. That's when you lift the arm once, boom, he's done.
Yeah.
You know, they really like to play off that more UFC vibe nowadays anyway. So, not that this is nowadays, but you know what I mean. So Randy went in the corner and let Cena at least get to his hands and knees. And then the way the announcers described it, I liked, because it was like the light bulb went off in Randy's head, and he goes, "Oh shit, I can fucking get him with the boot." Which was that still new at this time? Like, when did they get rid of that?
I don't know.
Roughly, like 2012, 13.
No, 11.
Not long after the Legacy.
2010, 2011, I would say. Maybe.
Okay, all right, because I know they had to get rid of it because it wasn't PG or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't. They didn't want him to do it anymore. But so that was it. He hit him with the boot,
the punt, and then that was it.
1, 2, 3, new champion, new WWE champion, Randy Orton. I think they said it was his 6th championship reign.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought that the selling was great, not only in the whole match, but with Cena at the end with that headlock. Like I said, I thought he was obviously not, but I thought he was knocked out. He looked like he had been knocked out, and that made a lot of sense. And
then we had them staring at each other for like a good 10 minutes, it felt like.
Yeah, enough time for me to go take a piss and come back, and they were still staring. I could still hear Randy's music. Like, Randy kind of walked out of the ring and held the belt up by the top of the ramp and stared down at Cena. Overall, it was a cool finish. I don't know if I liked the match. I gave it a 2.5 Meltzers out of 5. I liked it more than the tag match before, but it's still, and that came with the finish. I think the last 5 minutes of this match helped the first 20 or 17 or whatever you said it was, 22 minutes in total.
Yeah.
That helped a lot. I don't understand still why this wasn't at least the main event or like closer to the main event.
It was boring. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this would have went well at the end.
But you can't think that going in. You can't think any match, we can't put that one on. It's boring. Well, then why is it on the fucking show?
Well, the crowd...
If you know it's boring going in...
It's John Cena, Randy Orton. You can't not put them on the show. But it's like, these two... It doesn't mix. And, bro, here, now I got it. Sorry. Light went off in my head. These guys main evented fucking 12 or more. They've main evented so many up until this point, too. Like, they don't need any more...
main events.
You know, I get it, co-main event, or something. I agree with you in that sense, but like, I'm glad this didn't go on last because like, I don't think people would have went home happy.
You're probably not wrong, and it's weird because this one for me is almost the polar opposite of the first match, where this isn't about the wrestlers; it's more about the belt,
the title.
Yeah, like it's a WWE Championship, and I know we're in 2018, and anybody who's listening knows that WWE Championship isn't even as high as a Universal Championship now. So I guess it's to be expected, but it wasn't my favorite thing. I had to say that. I don't know.
Would you have wanted to see this last, though? Like, knowing how much you
No,
didn't like
and
the
we'll
match?
get into that later with how the main event actually turned out.
Yeah.
But I would say no.
Yeah.
No, I think you're probably right there.
Even the main event, it's, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
For sure.
I didn't think it was.
Oh, I totally agree with that. But like I said, decent match, 2.5 out of 5 maybe. I don't know. I've seen a lot of Randy Orton and John Cena. Maybe not as much as you, but it's good that we got a long break now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again until it's billed as like a Triple H Undertaker.
Yeah, and then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, of course. Because I think they do have some chemistry. I don't want to get stuck on that, but I do think the chemistry between the two of them is there.
It's there, but I just don't think I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever... I'm thinking back now to all of their matches, and I don't think I've ever really been a fan of them two working together.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Fair enough.
They're both good. I like them both on, like, against anyone else.
But together, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
To each his own, man. That's all you can say. But we'll go on to the next thing. We had Josh Matthews backstage with R-Truth doing an interview talking about Drew McIntyre. Before we talk about that, I wanted to let everybody know, if you're watching on Instagram as well, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at PW LookBack. If you want to send us any emails, questions, ideas, suggestions for the show, ProWrestlingLookBack@gmail.com. All the videos for all the lookbacks are posted on YouTube at Pro Wrestling LookBack, as well as ProWrestlingLookBack.wordpress.com. So check it out, either one of those. We're hoping to get on more platforms in the future, but we're still trying to play the field and see who likes what and try different things out and basically just get better at doing this, because we're definitely not experts. So we appreciate anybody that does check out the shows. But like I said, Josh Matthews backstage with R-Truth. This might have been the best R-Truth promo I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably is because I'm more of a newer fan, and all I've seen is, I don't want to overuse the word wacky, let's maybe use goofy.
Yeah.
But goofy R-Truth. And I don't know, what did you think about this? I know you've seen more R-Truth than me in your day.
Yeah, no, it was a decent promo, I thought.
That's all you have?
Yeah, no, I don't have to. I wasn't, like, but that's probably because I've seen, like, the really good R-Truth too. So, like, it was decent.
Yeah, you mentioned
he can definitely cut a promo
to me with Miz. Maybe we'll look back at some of that in the future.
Yeah. And like even when he did the whole feud with John Cena and he got the WWE title shot and shit, like, that was really good, like, stuff from him.
Yeah.
So it was good. Like, the guy can definitely cut a promo. And I thought, like you said, it was interesting that it was more serious.
Yeah, less goofy, less wacky, and more. That's why I was really shocked when he came out and still did the whole what's up thing. I guess that's part of his gimmick, but I don't know.
But I think maybe it made sense when they showed us a little package of, Drew attacking him from a few times, and he was probably just fed up, so he was getting more serious, like,
Yeah. I would kind of just play this off as like a normal, regular.
Yeah, it was like a SmackDown.
Yeah, just a normal feud, normal rivalry. They got to have something in there to kind of split up some of the big matches on the show. But how about Drew? Because again, I haven't seen a lot of Drew back, prior to his new run here.
Yeah.
And holy shit, man, the guy's a different dude. Yeah. I think he put on 40 pounds since then. His voice dropped, and I think he sounds like he smokes, but I don't think he does. And he's just an all-around better wrestler. Like, the music that they gave him back then is like fucking generic wrestler number 2, create a wrestler, WWE Raw theme song in the video game. Like, I don't know. It was very generic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I don't think it lasted long. I feel like it was like one of those one and done
music
scenarios, because like they said, this was his first pay-per-view match. So I think he was still very new, very, very new.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, like you said, it was his first pay-per-view match. So I don't know. I'd be curious to know how long that music stuck around. But like I said, he was looking pretty skinny, and I don't know. This match was fast, but it made sense.
Yeah.
They needed to clean up their storyline that they had on SmackDown and Raw. And I don't know if we talked about this yet, but were Raw and SmackDown separate at this time fully, or were people kind of flopping all over the place?
No, they were separate.
They were fully separate?
They were
okay.
separate,
So I think they were more on SmackDown because they showed a clip on SmackDown of these two.
Yeah.
So,
which almost makes certain things about this pay-per-view like not as acceptable, like weird that the SmackDowns,
for example,
like the SmackDowns, like we talked about the world title, and that being like their main title, the big title of their show, but it's going to open up the entire pay-per-view. Weird. Like when I think about it like that, because I kind of forgot that they were separate. I kind of almost thought that they were together at first.
Would that be more okay? And I don't want to get too off topic like we always do, but would that be more okay if they ended the show with the WWE? Because I know there's pay-per-views that they did do that in this era, where the opener was the world and the finisher was the... That I'm almost okay with. My biggest gripe, we talked about it enough, but was Undertaker.
Yeah.
Opening the show just didn't make sense to me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to this. R-Truth, I don't know. He, like I said, I thought his promo was really good, and it helped build this match. If I didn't see that I don't know if it was quite 5 minutes, 2-3 minute promo from R-Truth beforehand, I wouldn't have been as invested in this match, and I was happy that I saw it. What was the time on this one?
So this one was 4:38.
Okay, so they gave the women more time than this, but I don't know. It's something.
Yeah, it was definitely like more of a showcase for Drew. I think, just, kind of get him out there.
He won relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Did he? I missed the actual, like, the pin. Was he using that Claymore type move, or was that more of a new?
I think that's a newer
thing?
Yeah.
I didn't catch what his finisher was. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew.
No, I didn't know.
No biggie. But we'll move on. That match, like I said, I think it filled its place to be a buffer before the main event. It concluded the feud between two guys on SmackDown. I would assume it concluded. And it did its job.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically. So after that, going into, we had another backstage segment. It was Randy sitting with his new belt that he had just won from John Cena. Mm-hmm. We had Legacy kind of come in. Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase. Shout out to Cody for last night and All In. Good job. I get the round of applause, but it's okay. Good job, guys. They were kind of super cocky about winning. Mm-hmm. Like talking to Randy like, we need to go out on the town and party and enjoy our 2 victories tonight. And Randy's body language and stuff was really good in this promo. He kind of looked at them like, guys, like, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Like, you don't walk away from this like you do a regular match. Mm-hmm. And I like that he built it up that way. I mean, it took away from the fact that he walked away from the match earlier in the night, but I get where he was going with. Well,
wasn't he kind of icing something?
He was, but I just mean, like, it's not like he was carried out of the ring.
Mick Foley bump.
No, and it's not like he was, carried out by personnel. So, like I said, I got what he was trying to say with that. It made perfect sense. But they just seemed super cocky, and I don't know. The only other thing I had written down, and this, I'll say it now before we talk about everything else, but Randy seemed to be, like, upset at himself or, like, upset with something. And then I'll say it now, like, he didn't come out at the end of the pay-per-view. Nothing happened with him and Legacy later. Yeah. But he just seemed different. I don't know if that was the character, and I didn't get to see a lot of backstage stuff at the time. But he seemed different. Any thoughts on that?
I think there was starting to be a little bit of tension, like, within the group.
Okay.
Like, I think that was
starting to build. Was this the beginning of...
I think so, because the vibe that I felt from it, like, there was something that Ted DiBiase said at the end. And it really made, like, the way they looked at Randy really made me think, like, there was some inner problems within the three of them.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Randy just hit, like I said, his body language and his facials seemed like something was off. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe in the past he would have went to the ring in the main event, and now I
think he was just...
stepping away, stepping back. But I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up as well.
I thought it was interesting, too, because it all made sense that the reason they felt so confident was... they had a game plan. Oh. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, for sure. We'll move on to the next match. It was the second last match of the night. It was Miz, Jack Swagger, and Kofi for the U.S. title. Kofi was the U.S. champion. I got to give shout out to myself on this one, just because I didn't know this match at all, and I knew there was a U.S. title match left in the night, and I said maybe it has Miz and Kofi, and surely enough, it had Miz and Kofi and Jack, and that was not because I knew. That was more just... I'm going 2009. Who was around that title at this time? And I don't know. Shout out to myself on that one. But yeah, it started out with Miz's entrance. Miz came out and cut a little promo on New Jersey, basically just getting cheap heat, bashing the crowd, bashing New Jersey, and cheap heat, basically. I don't know. This match wasn't one of my favorites. It was relatively quick-ish. I don't know. What was the time?
7:53.
7:53. I should have been writing these down. 7:53. Okay. So, I don't know. It was a weird match. Triple threats sometimes are hard. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been good triple threats and there's been great triple threats, but they're not the easiest matches to do. Because usually one guy's got to fucking sit down and wait, and there's a lot of this, and I don't know. What were your thoughts before? Because I don't want to talk too much about it because I didn't.
Yeah, no.
The match wasn't that long and there wasn't too much to talk about. But
I think you're right, especially with such a small window of time to work with too.
Yeah,
it's definitely hard to put on a good
and sell
triple
in that amount of time.
And I guess I like the fact that we had the two heels and Kofi being like the babyface,
the champion,
So
babyface.
I thought that
And they worked together for a little bit in the match
they
too.
did for a bit. Yeah.
Swagger and Miz.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. What was the boom drop? I can't say I've heard of that before.
So the boom drop was the three claps, the 1, 2, the claps, and
The
then
Kofi,
a jumping like leg drop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Then they had a trouble with names back then or something because again,
the
that's
Starship Pain and the boom drop.
yeah, it's not the best finishing maneuver names I can think of. I got to be honest, but
Did you like Trouble in Paradise?
no, not a fan. But overall, I think I've said too much. But this match was good for what it was.
Yeah.
Could have been longer, could have been shorter, I guess. I don't know, maybe not shorter, but it was sloppy. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not a critique and I'm not a wrestler. I've never been to school for training or any of this kind of stuff, but it just seemed not as smooth as other matches can be. There was maybe some waiting for other guys.
Some awkward moments.
Some timing. I know there was a spot where I think it was Kofi or Miz. I don't know who was getting pinned, but Swagger had to put their foot. I think it was Kofi. Swagger had to put his foot on the rope.
Yeah,
and
Kofi's foot.
He kind of didn't quite get it on the rope in time. So credit to Kofi. Kofi kicked out on his own rather than just having the ref stop the count because the foot was on the rope. But little things like that.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Didn't really work. Like you said, 7 minutes, 53 seconds. Kind of a filler, I would say.
It was kind of
to get us to the main event. And Kofi with the SOS for the win. Yeah. What were we going to say?
No, I was just thinking of the whole placement thing. It's been like a constant thread throughout this show.
Definitely.
But I also think about the fact of I don't know if I wouldn't have switched and put the WWE title before the main event just because it's 2 Hell in a Cells. I was thinking that originally in my head. I was like, oh, would I do that? Would I switch? I was just kind of playing Booker in my head, but
yeah, you don't want to have 2 Hell in a Cell matches back to back. No, I totally understand that.
But it was what it was.
Yeah, I had a kind of a 1.5 out of 5 Meltzers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to give it too much, and I think that's kind of where it fits. But
I agree with you. Yeah.
Should we move on to the main event?
Let's get to that.
All right. What do we got here? Papers down. We got DX. We got Legacy. This is the main event.
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. Sticking with our Hell in a Cell lookbacks. This is the second one we've done. Check out our first one. It was Armageddon 2000 with the 6-man Armageddon Hell in a Cell. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This has been fun to do, and I'm excited to do this main event here with you, but I don't know how to start it.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, I don't know. This match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That's all. That's if I had to give you one sentence or couple words about this one, I thought it was going to be kind of, I don't even know. I thought it wasn't going to be this good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't go much into it more than that, other than the fact that I kept thinking throughout the night, this main event better be good. It better be good because they've put a lot of shit out here that could have closed the show. Even John Cena, Randy Orton, I would say it. But I think they delivered. I think they did a pretty good job. And the build that they showed to it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
They showed a small promo, but they basically just showed Legacy attacking DX, I think, on Raw. Mm-hmm. They attacked him again. I don't know if it was at another pay-per-view.
I think they got a win over them at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
As well.
But it was like a cheating win. They talked about the figure 4 on the post.
I was trying to figure that out too.
Laying down, so maybe it was more of a cheating win. I don't really know, but I don't know. What was your thoughts? I have I got a decent amount written down to talk about this match, but before we,
I totally forgot a lot of this matchup. Although
you had seen a lot of this.
Yeah, I've seen this pay-per-view before, but I kind of forgot the direction that they were going. So
yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure anybody listening has picked up by now. Thanks again for listening. I had not seen this show, so I didn't know what to expect from the main event. Like I said, my expectations were quite high because of what else had happened on the show prior. But I don't know.
I thought it lived up. I don't want to say lived up to the hype, but I thought it was good. It was a definitely good main event. I like the way they started it off, man. These guys just came out of nowhere with the game plan. Kind of jumping DX before they could even get in there.
DX did their entrance. I was kind of excited because I wanted to see the Legacy entrance, and I wanted to hear the music because maybe we were going to start the show with that. But another day. DX kind of got halfway down the ramp, and then out of nowhere, Legacy just attacked him from behind.
And it felt like all very fast paced.
Well, yeah, but I was going to say, too, not only that, like, they stayed on them.
Oh, yeah.
For half the match.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot written down, but, like, Legacy attacks him. DX take control. Double suplex kind of onto the table. All outside the ring.
Yeah.
Before the match even started.
Yeah.
So they had a little bit of back and forth. Go back on what I said a bit. They had a bit of back and forth before the match actually started. But how did you like the Legacy attack?
No, I enjoyed it because, like, this, to me, it all added up with the way they were feeling so cocky and confident earlier, because their game plan was to obviously keep Triple H away outside and then just
and we'll get to that.
Keep Shawn in there and take him down.
I thought it was just great for the story.
Yeah.
I thought it made, like, I don't know, it just helped that story that they had already told with the little promo video and then attacking them from the unexpected spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, so they managed to get back in the ring, and they brought Triple H in, they brought Shawn Michaels in and locked Triple H outside the ring. And yeah, I don't know. They proceeded to basically beat the shit out of Shawn Michaels with him doing some outstanding selling.
Some of these moves were fucking hellacious too.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
And I don't know. Like I don't want to talk because we've been talking about it all episode, but even with how good this match was, I still think this could have been in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Excuse me, in the middle of the show. I don't know. I don't want to get hung up on that, but maybe your thoughts?
Yeah. No, I would have... I think I agree with this just because I feel like now thinking back on it too, like, I know Orton and Cena, they probably closed a lot of those shows, along with Punk too. I know, in like, Punk... In this era, Punk with that world title reign.
I wouldn't have thought that with all his complaining about not being in the end of shows.
That's something else, Nick. Don't do that.
I'm just saying. I'm just being serious.
We're not going there.
I wouldn't have thought that.
We're not going there.
Because I almost brought that up earlier.
If we could do a whole separate podcast if you want to have that conversation.
Yeah. Shout out to him for making his way to StarCast and all in this weekend. But yeah, I liked that the match was different and they didn't just start it out everybody in the ring, typical like the other two Hell in a Cells that we had. Well, there was no real shenanigans in the other ones to start, at least. But sorry.
No, I like the use of the weapons, and there's more chaos, which is what I like to see from a Hell in a Cell match. I don't, just want to see the guys wrestling in a cage.
Yeah.
That's
what a cage match is for.
That's what I got, like, in the other two. I feel like I didn't get anything super chaotic. I like that there was a lot of chaos here. The chairs and the whole shit on the outside at the beginning.
Locking Triple H out of the ring.
Yeah, and the whole him trying to break in and
I said it before, but HBK and the selling, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love how he finds a way to do moves, but like there was a time where he was in the ring and I don't know if he punched Cody, but like he fell down after he hit Cody, and then like Swagger went to give him an elbow drop and he rolled out of the way as he was falling down, and it just was like so perfect because he ended up taking them both out without doing much, but still like selling at the same time. So I don't know. Shout out to Shawn Michaels. Not that he needs it, but
yeah, definitely a master of the craft for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the match was main event worthy, and I'm happy with where it was, but I think it also could have been somewhere else, and it's not like it would have been, oh my God, I can't believe that wasn't the main event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't one of those scenarios for sure.
No, it's not like it was a 40-minute or 30-minute classic between two guys. It was kind of, like you said, a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
Which fits in the main event sometimes. But I don't know. Is there anything you want to talk about more specific?
There was that just one move. It was the drop kick where Cody was holding
Oh my
Shawn.
God, yeah.
And like I just love the way that they really got into it. Like he made sure he wasn't going anywhere by so Cody, for the people who can't see what I'm doing here, Cody gets Shawn, puts the chair in front of his face, and he's standing behind him, and he has this little touch made such a huge difference for me. Like he lifted his knee and put it into his back and held him there. So
I didn't even pick up on that
at that point. Like if you just have the chair there, he can kind of
wiggle his way around,
out, kick out. But no, he had the knee in the back and the chair there, and then Ted DiBiase fucking drop kicks this chair right into his skull.
And like there was
nothing
for show here.
Yeah,
like, it was again, Shawn Michaels, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, like, obviously he didn't take it as hard as he could have, but it didn't look.
No, it looked like.
Yeah, it was a great shot. Anybody who is listening to the show, if you haven't gone back and watched the whole pay-per-view, maybe just watch this match and Shawn Michaels selling in the first half an hour, 20 minutes, I guess, of the match. Probably a 25-minute match total, but we'll get the time from you in a minute. Yeah. But so we had Triple H finally make his way away. Sorry, should I say from the ring? He left.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels looked not confused, but he was still selling and so beat up and tired that he was a little distraught. He didn't know what was going on. Cody and Ted kind of were waving at Triple H like, see ya.
I thought Ted did a great job of being a prick at this part because I wanted to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
like
I have a lot to say about Ted as far as the close of the match. He was standing
there and he's like, "Oh, hit me!" And Triple H is trying to get in. Like he got me.
Yeah,
at that moment,
and he couldn't do nothing. Yeah. So Triple H leaves. The announcers kind of played it off like, "Oh my God, why is he leaving? He's leaving him by himself." I think we both knew he was going to get something, whether it's cutters or get this man a hammer, something like that. Shout out to the Avengers. And yeah, so we had Shawn Michaels go back into the ring. I think that's when the spot happened that I mentioned with him falling and moving over was when Triple H was gone. But needless to say, Triple H comes back a few minutes later. He's got the bolt cutters. He manages to cut the chain off, gets the door off, goes into the ring, basically cleans house, knocks them both into each other, and then tosses one over the top rope onto the side.
Yeah, and then the roles were now reversed when they get.
Yeah, I think they beat him up a
little bit,
a couple minutes at least, and then Triple H tossed Ted outside the ring, locked the cage again, and they pretty much, I don't know, they didn't beat on Cody that long, to be honest. I know how it finished, but do you want to go into anything else other than the actual finishing move?
No, I like the story. Like, we talked a little bit. I liked how the story was, Triple H.
Oh, the story
was outside and
the storytelling in this match was up there. Yeah. It was, if you can't see me, which you probably can't, it was, I'm raising my hand. The storytelling in this match was great. I mean, it wasn't, like we said, it wasn't a one-on-one barn burner match, but sometimes you just want storyline, and it worked here. So Ted was outside the ring. Shawn, Triple H, and Cody are all inside the ring together. Shawn is kind of tuning up the band in the corner, and I liked what Triple H was doing, and I liked that he also stopped because he could tell that they weren't quite in sync as he wanted them to be. Shawn was kind of stomping the ground, and Triple H was stomping the ground with his sledgehammer that he had gotten from under the ring after he got into the cell. Stomping that, leading to.
Yeah, that was a cool visual. I didn't really.
No, I liked it.
Yeah,
but
I didn't think of it all though.
I liked that Triple H noticed that they weren't quite on sync, and he stopped doing it, and he let Shawn finish it out. And then they both ran at them, Sweet Chin Music's and a sledgehammer to the head at the same time. I don't know who's kicking out of that. Probably not many. Not the NWA champion, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3. And then DX wins. Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
The selling, the emotion, the reaction on this guy's face when not only they were about to hit Cody, but once they hit Cody with that move, dude, it looked like they were about to shoot his best friend in the head, and he was outside about to watch somebody shoot his friend in the head. It was great. Like, I looked at him, and as like you said, as big of a prick and a whatever word you want to use, he was being all match. He was fucking, like, I felt bad for him. Yeah. I looked at him and I'm like, he looked like he was almost crying, and I was like, oh man, I feel for this guy a bit. Like, his friend is, even though of what they did to Shawn, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. It just shows you that Ted obviously had some skill. And
for sure, yeah.
I don't know where he's at now, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him back in wrestling or back in WWE. I don't know if that's even in the cards or possible, but I don't know. What, did you have the time for this one?
Yes, just 1 second here.
I can tell you, to be honest, I think this was probably my favorite match. I know I said that the Randy one, or the Intercontinental I liked as well, but I think the story of this match, and I know wrestling in the ring is the story, what Ziggler and Morrison did as well, but just the overall story that led into this match, what they showed, and then the role reversal that they played within it just worked really well. I gave it a 3 out of 5 Meltzers. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was. 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 I think I could probably agree with that. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 18 minutes and 2 seconds, so like 18 minutes pretty much.
18 minutes. Okay. So not the longest on the card.
No, the longest was that Randy and Cena match.
By design, you think? Obviously, it's by design and length, but is there a reason they decided to give those two the most amount of time, you think?
Probably just the who it is, you know, and maybe because it was for the title.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Should we go? Is there anything else you wanted to say about the main event before we kind of dive into the end of the show and our memorable moments?
No, I think we covered everything that I wanted to talk about as far as main event's concerned. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, as we do on every PW Look Back, we get into our
moments of the night. It's moments of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I should get that on a recording.
Yeah. So I don't have to do it every time.
So then I can push a button and we don't have to get you singing on every show. Not that I don't enjoy it, but we'll see. I'll let you go first like we always do.
Why don't you go first?
You want me to go first this time?
Because honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I don't have enough to bring to the table.
Okay. Well, I certainly do.
The table.
So,
this table.
I actually even have a honorable mention.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't want to get negative.
Or you know what? I can go for mine will be quick. If you want, I'll just get it out of the way.
What are you doing here? you asked, the guy asked me to go first, and then...
Well, you said you got a lot. So
yeah.
If you want, I'll just get mine out of the way. It's quick, short.
All right, get yours out of the way. Don't do that to me again. You get me all ready to do my memorable moments, and then now fucking you just reneges on it.
No, it's just because I didn't know how much you had to bring. So, but knowing now that you got a lot.
Well, you should know. I bring it. Just bring it, bud. All right, let's get your memorable moments in.
So,
like I said on every other show, because I haven't said it on this one, memorable moments that we consider on this show are moments that we're going to think about. Obviously, you know what a memorable moment is, but this is more stuff that if we think about this show that we're recording, or we think about the show we watched in 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 7 years from now, what are the moments specifically from this show that are going to stick out to us? If I say to Donovan, Hell in a Cell 2009 in 5 years, or 6 weeks, whatever it is, what's the stuff that's going to pop into his head?
So, definitely, I guess the Intercontinental match in itself as a whole.
Just the whole, like the story, the build, the match, the finish,
not so much the build, because I don't know if there was too much.
They didn't show too much about it,
but
as far as promo,
just the in-ring work, and like I said, it really, to me, that really represented like the Intercontinental title. That match, the two guys at the time, they're younger, up and coming guys
for sure.
Morrison like fairly new in his run, and Ziggler being on this long chase of trying to get the Intercontinental title, and then like obviously the match quality, like this, it was my, even like with all the bells and whistles, I still like just enjoyed this match the most of everything else on the card, and also, so yeah, just that match, not a particular moment. The wrestling style of Ziggler, that keeping it to the ground, and because we don't see it all the time.
No, it was definitely
we don't get
different.
enough of his amateur stuff. So I would say that match as a whole, and then also just Randy Orton, because I don't want to shit all over it, because I know I kind of
viciousness of Randy, or just
I love like how invested he was into this character, with the look.
I know what you mean,
and like the way he's always very like methodical, with his movements, but like just I
don't have much to elaborate verbally, but I know what you mean. Like the character that he was playing at that time,
the look, like everything, even when they talked about like how
even the whole legacy stuff too.
Yeah, the stuff in the back, everything about just the 09, 08, this version of Randy Orton, I really love. Yeah. So yeah, that's something I'll definitely remember, especially like when, not maybe from this particular pay-per-view, but this era of Randy.
Yeah, for sure. But if I say, like I said, if I say to you Hell in a Cell in 6 weeks or a year from now, you're going to think of the Intercontinental title match and kind of Randy's viciousness in the Hell in a Cell.
For sure. And that fucking kick that DiBiase gave to Shawn Michaels. That was insane.
Interesting. That's interesting. I got to be honest, just because I'm curious to know, maybe before I go into mine, I'm surprised there's no real Hell in a Cell, quote unquote, moments that stick out. Was there just none in these Hell in a Cell matches that is enough to be above all the other moments?
Now that you say that, I guess this can be classified as a moment, but it's more of a moment in time.
Well, that's kind of what we're...
Yeah.
It's more just what...
No, I know.
Everybody,
I know,
when somebody says something to you, you get a picture in your head.
I know.
What's popping into your head when I say Hell in a Cell 2009?
Like, it's the beginning of this, like, I don't want to say protected, but...
Oh, okay. I know what you're going.
That's what I'm going to think of. For sure.
When this is when the Hell in a Cells started becoming a little less brutal, should I say, or that I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I'm not saying it. I don't want to say protected because I mean, like, we see the Undertaker Brock one. I think was kind of brutal, and then
that whole pay-per-view or that match.
That match.
It wasn't. I don't know. I liked when they ripped up the ring and stuff. That.
Not bad. Like brutal, as in like they did hardcore things in the match, and even the Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon. So I'm thinking of stuff in more recent memory that was good.
They've upped their game maybe in the last couple years rather than 9 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I feel like in between, from like right now, I think we'll get some good stuff this year, 2018.
Yeah.
But in between, there was some Hell in a Cells where they're just like, I wouldn't go back and watch them.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree completely, and I guess I'll get into mine. I got, like I said, I've got a couple honorable mentions, and then I've got my 1, 2, 3 top moments of stuff that I'll remember from the show. Honorable mentions, I wanted to talk about just, I would say, and don't get mad anybody, I don't know if you're watching or listening, I would say maybe this isn't the best era of WWE. I would say now is probably a little higher with the talent pool and quality that's there, and maybe obviously before this, early 2000s, late 90s. Late 80s would be, the peak of them. That's just something small. The paces of the match, some of the matches weren't the best in this card. But yeah, so my 3 big things, I don't know if they're in the right order, but I'll just give it to you like this. The one, number 3, is Undertaker opening the show. I'm going to go back to that every time I think about this, no matter what. Every time, if you bring up Hell in a Cell 2009, I'm going to think, that's the one that Undertaker opened the show, right? With CM Punk and the Hell in the Cell match, the match that could have main evented. Yeah. If it was longer, which they could have went longer, obviously. They had WrestleMania matches future to this, or prior?
After.
After. So, number 2 was the fact that there was no WWE / World Heavyweight Championship, quote unquote, big belt in the main event of the pay-per-view. I know that happens, but for it to be a tag match, a little different, but that also goes into my number 1 moment. Yeah. The story of the main event. Yeah. I got to be honest. This main event saved it for me. Yeah. Because me and you, when we were watching this pay-per-view, man, going into the main event, like, I wouldn't say we were fucking excited. No. We were excited to hit record and start doing all this, but I don't know. They saved it for me with the story they told. I wasn't expecting the attack on the entrance and each, like I said, the role reversal of wrestlers being outside the ring and inside the ring and locking one out and letting him back in. That's definitely something that's going to stand out huge for me and is a good moment. Go back and watch the show. Yeah. But, pretty good.
All good ones.
Like I said, pretty good. I think after talking about it, I've come around a little bit more. It's probably better than it was when we first hit record, an hour and a half ago. Yeah. I enjoyed it, but, Do you want to get into the end of the show? Yeah. All right. Thanks for checking out the PW LookBack podcast. We do the LookBack shows. We try and do them once a week. We gear them around basically the WWE pay-per-views that are happening at the time or stuff that's happening in WWE. We got some exciting stuff coming up for October. Hopefully check that out. Maybe Halloween related, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, like I said before, check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PW LookBack. Email is prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. The website is prowrestlinglookback.wordpress.com, and all the videos are on YouTube. And you can check all that stuff out there. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Salsa, SCELSA. And thanks for joining us. I'm Nick, and
sitting here with me, and you can catch my Twitter at New School Money. Just want to tell everybody out there, stay classy.